We had one of the fans of the show call in and want to know, what if I don't have all the tools you have? So, we're going to cover a few different ways that you can make some of the cuts. Alright, the first thing we want to do is make sure we got our dimensions right on our lap cut. This is what it'll look like. That'll be cut out. So to establish the measurements, this thickness right here is that line. Whatever the thickness is of your timbers, cut that line. Okay? Then the depth would just simply be whatever your thickness is here, which is about 4 inches. They vary. A couple of them 3 7/8. A couple of these are 4 inches. So somewhere in between 3 7/8 and 4 inches, or just pick one. 3 15/16 being the center. I don't think that will vary a lot. It's just about an 1/8 inch difference. But you just lay it out like that. The thickness of the board, height of the board, measure down half. And that gives you your layout. I thought I would show you how to make a jig real quick, just to mark these things out so you don't have to measure, every one. If you got a miter saw, you can just put a mark on the fence and slide it over to it. But say you're using a circular saw, skill saw, maybe a sawzall, whatever you got, it might be handy to have a jig to lay them out with. It doesn't take but a second, save you a lot of time in the long run. I just cut a couple of little blocks here I already had, no certain length. Pull it over to the end and just mark it right where you want that cut to be. Put these together, get them marked the right length. You want to use square, you can use square. Okay. Then I cut a little piece the right width to go this way. So, in other words, this is time together at this point. Cut it this length. Cut another board this length. It's going to mark the end in case you need an end cut. You tie it together right there. Now I need to make a mark here and here. Like, a mark here, square it down right there. And then I need to make a mark across here. These are 4 inches, measure down 2. Got a little mark right there already. And just right across that mark right there. We'll cut that out. We could cut it out on that side, but we don't have to. We can just mark here, here, across there. We don't have to mark all the way around, but we could. Alright, so now we got them cut. They'll go like this. And that way, after the jig's made, you just mark it out. Save a little time. We'll put it together. First thing you want to do is, say you're going to use screws, lock it together like this. You want to always pre-drill tape 2. Yep, if you pre-drill it, just goes right in. A lot better chance of it not splitting, and it pulls up a lot easier. Okay, now what we gotta do is put this on the end. Pre-drill that. Alright, we'll put our second piece in here. We already pre-drilled it. We'll line it up. And one more screw. Alright, that was pretty quick and easy. We got us a little jig now. Just stick it on. Slab it down. All right there. Took this a couple minutes to build. Save you a lot of time. One way, if you got a circular saw, a lot of people call it a skill saw. You can do it kind of like I did on the miter saw. You can make the cuts. Make this cut. If you got the depth set right, it'll cut down to this line. And then you make a few passes like I did. And then you can bust it out. And then you might want to clean it up with a chisel, or you might want to ride your saw back and forth to clean it out. Let's see how we do it. Now one thing is, all right, my plate is narrow on this side, so the farther I get, it wants to tip over. You gotta make sure you hold it up flat where it don't tip over. If you're having a problem with that, you can spin it around, and that way your plate's over here. You can take your saw. If you notice, I turned this around where my plate, the wide part of my plate, will be resting here. Easy to keep it level. And that cleaned up a little bit. Might have a little gouge every now and then, but it'll do the job. Also, if you notice, I got a clamp. I took another timber, clamped it together with a quick grip. Help stabilize this piece while I'm working on it, where it won't be flipping over side to side. So clamps, you can't have enough clamps. I got all kind of clamps, and that's just part of them. If you haven't got some clamps, you need to go get some. All right, let's try another way. See how this works. It's all about taking the tools you got, learning how to use them, and then you can apply it to whatever situation you got. You can make it happen. All right, we're gonna make the same cut. Same cut we made the first time. another way you could do it. It didn't go quite through. So what do we do? When you take, if you got a sawzall, you finish it up with a sawzall. That's a good way to do it. What if all you had was a sawzall? There you go. Hell, that might be the best way to do it. Next thing is drilling our holes for our rebar. These things are very simple. You know, you cut your links, you cut your half laps. Then when you fit them together, you drill your holes, drive your rebar, and you're done. They lock together with this rebar. Now, the main thing is making sure these holes are drilled pretty accurate. Because if they get out of line, like, you know, this piece is not lined up with the piece under it, or, you know, if you got 2-3 layers and they're off just a little, it's not going to work unless you know, drill a real big hole, but try to keep it close. The main thing is these timbers vary a little bit in width. So if you're, you know, measuring from the outside, what you want to keep in mind is right here, that's snug, and that's a constant. No matter how, say this piece is a little narrower than some of the other ones. Well, the outside may stick out past this board a little bit, you know, say 1/8 of an inch. Well, if I measured everything from the outside and it sticks out, well, this hole's going to be off. But the inside, no matter how far they stick past or back, if I measure everything from this inside corner, because all these pieces going to true up real good in the corners, make sure they pull up good and tight. And then when you measure from the inside, then that'll take care of everything. The measurements will be the same. So, like, looks like these are about 2 3/4. 2 3/4. So what do we need to do? We'll get half of that. In carpentry, you'll always, every day almost, have to get half of something. You know, if it's a room and you need to get half of it to start your floor tile, ceiling tile, what, you know, if you're setting a window, you got to get half of it, you know, half of the width of a door. But you're always having to get half of something. All right, one easy way. Say we got 2 3/4. What's half of 2? 1. What's half of 3/4? If you want half of a fraction, always double the bottom number. 3/8. So half of 2 3/4 is 1 3/8. Simple. Now another way is, say you had 2 foot 2 3/4 of an inch. 2 foot 2 3/4. I need half of that. You go 2 feet 2 3/4 inches. Half 2 foot is 1 foot. Half 2 inches is 1 inch. So that's 1 foot 1. Half 3/4 is 3/8. That's an easy way. Here's another little trick. Say you're a little fuzzy today. 2 foot 2 3/4. Can you see that? 2 feet 2 3/4. 2 foot 2 3/4 is right there. I put the end of my tape right there. 2 foot 2 3/4. Squeeze that tape together. That's 13 3/8 right up there in the center. That's another way you can do it. Don't tell Mr. Patterson though, he won't appreciate me telling you how to do it. Alright, we're making a jig real quick for hole drilling. I pre-drilled some holes. I just got a little board I cut. No certain length. Got another board. It's gonna go right here. It's gonna fit up in the corner. So you just want to put those two together. You know, so it'll be like. You know, it doesn't matter if it comes back this way. It doesn't matter if it's a little short. But I'm gonna screw it together. Right about here. This will fit right up in the corner, this piece, like that. And then we just need to get center this board, drill a hole through it, and as long, you know, and even if the boards, like I said, vary a little bit, we measure from the inside quarter will be constant. So if this is outer end, all the holes will still line up. Alright, I have determined that this is pretty close to the center. Alright, so we're going to transfer our mark. Get my pencil. That mark transfer right up here. This mark transfer right up here. See? Alright, should be it. So we make sure, pull up there, pull up tight in the corner. Let's see. We're using number 4 rebar, which is 1/2 inch. I'm gonna go with a 9/16. That'll give you ever so little to play. And you know, after you drill it and you decide, man, that's not big enough. Well, you know, go to a 5/8. Let's try that. Looks like the same. So now you can use that with all your corners, drilling your holes. Put two boards together, drill through a little bit. Just make sure these boards are tight together, because if one gets a little loose, then it's going to be off. But if you drill it exactly the same size as a rod you're using, there's a little fuzz that stays in there. Fibers from the wood is not smooth, it'll be too tight. But a 9/16 is pretty good. Pretty good and snug right there. Yeah. If I was building it in place, you know, in the yard, or, you know, possibly on the table, either way, I'd probably drill all my holes on one layer, go ahead and put my rebar in. Then as you drill your holes, you know, then you can take your lumber and slide down over top of it. You can see how that works for you.